Well, this just sounds fun. Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Predator Badlands. So this is a donation reward for Anonymous. This is one of those where our anonymous donator, you may have seen reactions donated from them before. They wish to remain anonymous. For one reason or another, it's their choice. They're allowed. And they have chosen this one. And this should be interesting because it's also our only movie reaction of the week. Due to the computer issues you may have known or you may have seen popping up, whether you're watching this on its original Patreon upload, or if you're watching this when it comes to YouTube. Well, actually, if you're watching this right now, you're watching it on YouTube because the pre-thoughts are YouTube only. I have to keep remembering that. But either way, this ended up being our only movie reaction this week because of all those issues. It's just I just didn't have time to get to another. Going into next week, though, next week is the monthly movie week. So we're going to have plenty more. Don't worry about that. There will be a movie every day, Monday through Friday, on the Patreon next week. And, well, actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, which you are, it'll just be next week for you guys on YouTube. Again, I trying to, like, acclimate my language and how I talk about these movies and just everything on the channel to anticipating Patreon. It's taking me some getting used to. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what this is about, because I know like the general synopsis I get. Well, I don't know like the full synopsis. I know like the most general sense of what it is. And that is, we have a Yautja and a Weyland-Yutani android. And it's a buddy movie. I assume buddy action, not like a buddy cop movie or anything, but it's not like, from what I've gathered from and I have seen a trailer or two, it's not like any Predator movie you've seen before. It takes a very different view on things. And again, I don't know like the like very specific lore. I don't know the reasons why they're together. I don't know like the actual story. Excuse me. First thing I'm recording of the day. So, ugh. But what I know is, again, it's just they're traveling together, and it's a very fascinating concept. I don't know, like, I don't know who's in this. Um, Offhand, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, how deep into lore with this kind of universe it's gonna go. Because if we're touching on Weyland-Yutani, that connects to the Alien movies, which we know are in the same universe as the Predator movies. But it's like, how much are we going to delve into that? How much are we going to delve into Weyland-Yutani in general, as like company and everything? How much are we going to delve into like Predator lore and the Yautja's like entire beliefs and ideals and you know everything they do? Again, this is the first day I'm recording, the day I'm recording this, and so I'm still a little tired. It's like 8 in the morning. um but yeah, I don't know like what the deal with all of this is, but again, the concept alone is very fascinating to me because I saw one of the trailers, and I don't remember most of what happened in the trailers. But it's like I'm looking at the trailer, and this is like when I first found out about the movie, the first time I saw it. I see the trailer for the first time. I see the way they're doing it with like again the Yautja and the android, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? It just like threw me off so much. Not necessarily in a bad way, just I was very confused. Because the Predator movies are like soft horror action, typically. They kind of delve into a little bit of horror in the kind of action genre. With just the horror, the idea of like, constantly being hunted, constantly being followed and stalked by a creature stronger, smarter, and more capable than you. It's not horror in the same way that Alien is horror, but it still scratched that itch. And so to see this movie, at least from the advertisements I saw, seem very different in tone, to the point where it almost kind of comes across like a buddy comedy, was fascinating to me. And I believe I did hear this movie did really well. There was an animated Predator movie that came out semi recently too that did well. It's just like Predator movies are just doing really well lately. After Prey, it's like they just seem to be like hitting their stride. And Prey was fantastic too. I believe we reacted to that on the channel. Um, but yeah, I don't know what to expect from this, especially with this kind of tone. I'm excited to find out because this, even if it is surprisingly buddy comedy like, I feel like if they make it good, it could still work. Um, and with this, we could even maybe look deeper into the Yautja's like culture and whatnot. I feel like that might be a big aspect of it. Now, before we get in this, and I'll reiterate this during the actual at the beginning of the actual reaction too, but I do know that the file I got um originally had no subtitles, but there was a subtitle file you could download to like use for your media player, because VLC allows you to do that. Just download a file and you can put it into the player and all. However, I do already know that the Yautja dialogue in it, for some reason, has I think it's Russian subtitles on the screen while nothing else is subtitled. The Yautja dialogue has Russian, I think, subtitles. That is like part of the video file. But nothing else is subbed. It's just the Yautja. And the subtitle file that I put over it just kind of overlays like that subtitle on top of the like Russian or whatever text. And so it should be readable. It should be readable. Because when I realized I had to get a subtitle file, I did check that because I wanted to make sure it was, good. I wanted to make sure it worked, because I've had some subtitle files just not work properly before. But yeah. Oh. So just warning you on that ahead of time. But that being said, I think we should get into this. I think we should check this out. So let's see what this movie has to offer. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked some things up, and first off, it seems like the power armor, wow, thinking in Fallout right now. The power mech is not quite the same. I looked at what it looked like in with Ripley and Alien and all, and it's not the same thing. There is a slight similarity, but this one's obviously a lot more advanced and bigger. And I feel like it's probably an homage to the original. But, obviously very different still. I also saw that the movie was, like, mostly very well received. There are some detractors, but I think you'll find that with every movie, so. But it was mostly well received, and honestly, I can see why. I would not say this is as good as Prey in terms of, just Predator films, but I would put it up there, like, in that range, that realm. Even if it's not as good as Prey, I still really love this. Probably my biggest concern going into this movie was how would this do kind of like a buddy comedy adventure kind of vibe compared to how the Predator movies usually are, with being more of an action sci-fi with slight horror vibes. And most of like the general vibe and feeling of, a standard Predator movie is here. Like, the hunt is still a massive part of it. You get the tech, you get the, like, cool creatures. You have all of that kind of stuff. Bringing in Weyland Yutani as well, like the connection with the Alien universe as well. I thought that was a good idea. And then you get into, like, the actual, like, buddy relationship. And not just meaning bud. but like between Deck and Thea, and it's like I actually really love it. This movie would not work as well without their relationship being so natural and believable. I love how their like friendship and everything blooms. I love how they become a pack throughout it, and that includes with Bud. And I like the transition that these characters have from going to like Deck using Thea as a tool, which was by her suggestion, so she couldn't even be mad at him seeing her that way. To them being a pack, to them being a clan. It felt like it was handled really well. Nothing felt rushed. Nothing felt like it was just kind of like tossed in or forced. It felt very natural in their development. And it was a lot of times because they saved each other, they protected each other, and just helped each other through things. They gained trust through action. And I think that especially works for a movie like based in the Predator franchise. Like I said, the creature designs were fantastic. I loved like every single one we saw. But I especially, obviously, because it was kind of the focus creature, loved the I haven't had trouble remembering its name until right now. Oh my god, I literally have been remembering its name completely fine this entire time, and now when I'm actually talking about it in the afterthoughts, I forget. Hold on. Let me bring this back up on Wikipedia here. The Kalisk. I don't know why my mind completely just fizzled out there. But yeah, the Kalisk design is fantastic. I love that it also has regenerative abilities. Although it can clearly be killed, it seems like its weakness comes mostly from being attacked from inside. I don't know exactly why that stops it from regenerating, but maybe it was also just the specific weapons used on it from inside. I don't know. But it was a great design. It had a great concept. I love Bud being revealed to be a baby Kalisk. And I did figure it out like shortly beforehand, but there really wasn't a huge amount to like showcase that. It did feel like a surprise. Though once I figured it out, I figured it out. And again, that was before the reveal technically happened. But still, it's like it didn't choreograph it like super like crazily. It was kept still very secret. Because they don't really look that much alike. I guess like older Bud at the very end looked a little bit more like their mother. I guess I should say she because that's what they refer to her as. Bud is referred to as a she throughout it. I don't know, like again, how the gender works for all of that or for the Yautja or any of this, but yeah. The action was good. The use of the tech was fun. Yeah, I don't remember if I just missed at the beginning them like talking about like part of like proving yourself and reaching that maturity as a Yautja is getting the cloak. I don't I don't remember if that was like something that like was mentioned as Deck not having yet. But it's like I pointed out like before Deck got the cloak that it's like, oh yeah, they really haven't shown that a lot. It's just been with the father. Um and well, we know why now because Deck literally didn't have it. It wasn't it was something he had to earn. And as we see in this, it's like he kind of just completely abandoned his initial clan and chose instead to focus on his new one, taking the cloak rather than properly earning it. So that's just an interesting like dynamic for this. Having this focus on our Yautja character on deck as our main character, and again, as I said in the reaction, showing like that more, for lack of a better term, human side to him, was a great decision. I mentioned that I'm a fan of when like franchises will do that. They'll turn things around and suddenly a character from like this group or species or whatever who has been like entirely antagonistic throughout the franchise suddenly gets like this, there's suddenly a character from that group or species that is suddenly, you know, either nice or good or just, yeah, just seen from a different angle. I think that's a really cool concept. And I think it was well executed here. Just in general, I thought this movie like had a lot of heart. It had a lot of humor. It was very cool still, very action packed. And overall, I just had an absolute blast with it. Like, I know there's some, like, maybe purists out there who would probably, like, agree with Deck's father and see, like, Deck as, like, pathetic or weak compared to, like, the other Yautja and everything. And just not, like, being seen as a good representation compared to the Yautja in previous films and comics and whatnot. And by the way, apparently I did read there is a comic tie-in, a prequel tie-in to this film. So that's fascinating too. But yeah, I feel like there are the purists out there who would find a movie like this that portrays a Yautja like this in this manner. They wouldn't like it. But I'm not a purist like that, and honestly, I've like not seen the movies enough to even remember everything, much less care that much that they changed up the formula a bit. And I mean, it doesn't like take away from like other stuff we've got. We still got like Prey recently. And then it's like on top of that, you had the animated one. I can't remember what that's called. Let me see if I can find out real quick. There was an animated Predator movie that came out. I think this came out last year. I think the other one came out like the year before, or maybe the same year. It might have been the same year. Oh, it was the same year. It's Predator Killer of Killers, which was also directed by Dan Trachtenberg, actually. So funny enough, it's literally the same director. Came out the same year. And Trachtenberg also did Prey. Trachtenberg is just the Predator director right now. Okay. I didn't realize Trachtenberg was also the one who did Prey. So it's like just continue to give Trachtenberg all the Predator movies. But yeah, I haven't seen Killer of Killers yet, but I'm curious as to like how that one relates. I assume that one probably has the more like traditional view of the Yautja. But yeah, it's just I like them switching things up like that. I also like that Tessa ended up being like kind of the main final villain of this outside of like Deck's father. Because like we have Thea like hyping her up and talking about how much she loves her and very clearly like showing that she wants to have that sisterly bond. And it's like you eventually get to the point where you realize, oh, there's the parallels here. The family parallels. You have Deck and his father and brother. Him and his brother got along very well. And his father, not so much. His father kind of hates him and wanted him to be killed by his brother. But Quaid couldn't do that and instead saved Deck's life by sacrificing himself for him. With, the killer being their father. While on the opposite end, you have Thea and Tessa, who were sent to this planet to get the oh my fucking god, why do I keep forgetting it now? What the fuck is happening to me? It's like I was remembering the names so well, and then like the instant I do these afterthoughts, I can never remember it, even after just saying it before. Oh my god, what the fuck? The Kalisk. I don't know why my mind is doing this to me. The Kalisk. They were sent there to gather it, but we don't know that right off the bat. They were sent there to gather it, to use it for, like, study and all, because of its near immortality. Its regenerative factor. And so we see that Tessa is more dedicated to the mission, while Thea ends up finding more humanity in everything. They both have the ability to think and feel, but Thea is the one, probably from being stuck on the planet for so long without Tessa, Thea is the one who has gained more of that actual humanity to her. And she eventually has to come to terms with, as they interact again and as they reconnect and have to end up fighting, that they're not sisters, that they're just two separate androids sent on the same mission and have two very different views of things. And although it's clear that Thea was using Deck at first, it also is very clear that she gained a lot of love and connection with him, because we saw that she was trying her best to save him when Tessa was planning on using him as a specimen and all. So yeah, it's a fascinating relationship that builds off of, again, the experiences and them working together and just kind of everything coming together in the end. I found this movie to be just a fantastic time. And oh, by the way, I was talking about, like, we never actually saw Mother. That's because Mother was an AI. I just did not catch that, even though, like, the screen was showing Mother, like, spelled in, like, MU/TH/UR or something like that. It didn't connect in my brain that it was just an AI and that there wasn't someone on the other end. My brain just did not make that connection. I mean, it makes sense, though. It absolutely makes sense. So yeah, there was not a single human character in this movie, because they were all just the androids and an AI, and then the Yautja and other creatures and stuff. So that's kind of fascinating. I really, really liked this. Again, I think Prey is better overall. And I guess part of that is just Amber Midthunder being amazing in it. But I think it's better written to a degree, and not that this one's bad in any way. I just think Prey is better. But yeah, this is one I would absolutely recommend, especially to any Predator fan. Just to kind of see a new view on things and have a little bit of an underdog story with the Yautja. Something that, is fresh and feels unique. So, yeah. But I really enjoyed this, so thank you to Anon for donating for this. And once again, reminder that next week, no matter whether you're watching this on Patreon or YouTube, next week will be the next monthly movie week. And as a reminder for our theme for this movie week is Black History Month. I know if you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be coming out technically at like the beginning of March. But it's just like, that's just how the timing works out. The movies will still be celebrating Black actors and themes, depending on the movie. So we're still celebrating. And honestly, we should celebrate Black history at all times of the year anyway, because it's something that is relevant at all times of the year. Honestly, especially in this country. Hate to say that, but it's true. So yeah, that will be our theme going into that. And I'm going to try to remember. I have been bad at this. I'm going to try my best to remember to actually name the theme in the final reaction of the movie week for the next month's movie week. If I forget, I'll just like, you know, make an update post on YouTube about it once all the things have gone live for that. But I'm going to try my best to remember. I might even, like, when I download the last movie video, I might even, like, label it to remember that. That actually would probably help me. But, yeah. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this movie, Predator Badlands. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.